Look how big these things are. I just harvested my Napa cabbages today and they are humongous. Welcome to Garden on a Hill, where we talk about easy home gardening. My name is Vin and today I'm going to share how I grew these Napa cabbages in the crazy spring weather of Georgia, where it becomes 50s to 90s in one day. If you are about simple gardening and you want to garden on the side and be successful at it, this is a channel for you. If you like my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so anytime I upload something new, you get notified. So let's go ahead and see how to grow these. The sun is about to set here. Hopefully it's not too dark yet, but look at these 3 Napa cabbages that I have. Starting from the left to the right, they are about 24 inches in diameter and they are ready for harvest. Actually, one of them right at the very middle has bolted, which means it's about time because it's getting too hot. So I want to share my secrets before I harvest them. And I'm going to share that while I'm taking the videos for these Napa cabbages. So this is a mature plant measuring about 24 inches in diameter, but I did start this from seeds. I started February 20 and they stayed there for about a month. So when you start Napa cabbages, they're pretty quick to germinate. I would say about 4 days, and within a month it would be ready to be transplanted. You would need to start it in the indoor seed starter just because you cannot germinate these seeds during that time. February here in Zone 7B is still around 20s or 30s, and that's not going to germinate the seeds, which at least need 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate. What I do is start in the indoor seed starter in my basement, which is about 80 degrees actually. It's right next to my HVAC system. So what happens is once it germinates, make sure that you wait for about 2 to 3 leaves. To be sure, I would actually just say 4 true leaves before you transplant these. So if you know what true leaves are, they are the leaves that come out after the first 2 cotyledons come out. I'll share some videos here how these seedlings started, and then after that, after a month, you will basically transplant it in the bed as shown here. I have the 3 transplanted. Once you transplant them, make sure they have the right spacing. These are spaced about 36 inches apart, which means 3 feet. As you can see, one cabbage is really big. So this is about 24 inches. That is about 24 inches. So there's about, give or take 8 to a foot in between. I would say that would be most preferred. You can narrow it down at the very least to 24 inches, but they would be next to each other. And the reason why I don't like that is one of the things is they are susceptible to pests. Slugs love them, cabbage worms love them, and pill bugs would love them. So if you can give them that 36 in between, 36 inches, that will make it easier for you to navigate through the leaves and see if pests are attacking your vegetables. So I want to show you the soil that I'm growing them in. It is a well-draining and rich, loose, organic soil that holds water very well. Remember, cabbages, any Brassica family, regular cabbages, Napa cabbages, they like consistent watering. So make sure you have that good soil and mulch. I use plastic mulch on my end, and I actually have mulch under it as well. You can just use regular mulch, whichever is available for you, but cabbages do not like to dry out. So make sure you have that in your soil. And when I started, I put a cup of biotone in the hole as my starting fertilizer. And then what I do after that is every 15 days, starting from the day I planted it, I would put a water-soluble fertilizer. Either your choice of organic fish emulsion or your choice of synthetic water-soluble fertilizer, a 10-10-10, a 20-20-20, it doesn't matter. Cabbages love nitrogen. So feed them with a lot of nitrogen. You can side dress them with blood meal or anything that has a high nitrogen content. Alfalfa meal, that's also acceptable, and they should be very happy. So I hand water. You may have an irrigation system, but I do not have one. So if you do hand water or hose water, make sure you water consistently. I typically do once a week. If it's still not in the 80s, 90s, if I'm still in the 70s, I'll do once a week deep watering. But come 80s to 90s, I've been watering them almost 2 to 3 times a week. Just keep that in mind when you're growing it in the spring. Rule: a Napa is ready to be harvested when it has formed a head and it's tight. This one is. Surprisingly, it has formed a huge head in this Georgia heat. We've been having 80s to 90s in the past 2 weeks, and it still gave a good amount of cabbage. So let me show you the center and how big it is. Probably about, 8 inches in diameter and about 14 inches tall or more. But they are ready to harvest, so let's go ahead and harvest them. To lift the leaves up, cut it from the bottom. I'm excited. This is my first Napa cabbage ever in spring. Or ever. I have not grown Napa cabbage ever. So. Oh my God, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Let me do a close up. Isn't that amazing? So, let's look at the bottom here. This thing is heavy. So you can see there's a lot of damage from pill bugs and slugs here at the bottom, but you can always take these out, snap them off, or if they're not that bad, you can eat them and wash them. So these complete my 3 Napa cabbages, and they are big, so let's go ahead and clean them and prepare them. That is one cabbage right there. Very firm one. So this is the one that I partially cleaned, removing all the loose leaves. This is the head portion of it. Very good size cabbage, very distinct white stalks, light green leaves. Good for sauteing, good for kimchi, of course. You can use the other leaves that I've taken out, wash them well, saute them, it's up to you. I still have 2 other ones to clean up, but basically I would leave them here overnight and just make sure, water them tomorrow and clean them so all the insects come out. That is it. 98 days after, you will have a Napa cabbage here in Georgia, and wherever you are, maybe you can apply my learnings. See you in the next video.